with the McNair family, and I have asked them for my release, and we have mutually agreed to part ways at this time.
What is going on, Houston Texans fans? By the tone of my voice, you could definitely notice. And if you guys have not heard the news, J.J. Watt, Justin James Watt, has come to a mutual agreement with the Houston Texans to be released today. Obviously, it's benefit for both. Benefit for J.J. Watt to be able to finish his career and choose his destination, and eventually get a ring that I think for most fans, it is just a reminder of the amount of talent that has come through this organization that unfortunately gets to a certain age where it's like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You looked at it a couple of years back with Bill O'Brien freshly here with the Houston Texans and Andre Johnson being released, went on to playing with the Colts, playing with the Titans, and eventually retiring. And what you want from these impactful players who have created so much memories for your team is you want them to get a ring. And unfortunately, I think it's no surprise to say that any player that comes from the Houston Texans, like, that hope is really not something that you see like it'll happen. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's gonna end here. The Houston Texans most likely will also lose out on Deshaun Watson, two guys who really tried to come together. I mean, J.J. Watt waited forever to get a quarterback with some type of competency that could get into the playoffs, make a push, come back from games, and if you gave him the opportunity to win games, he would put teams away. And now one of your best defensive ends ever, not only in your franchise, but I can say in the NFL, with everything he did, back-to-back 20 sack seasons, doing what he did in his first playoff game, being just impactful. I mean, if you definitely look at all the players that came and played with J.J. Watt, you could definitely see how he elevated his leadership, led a lot of defenses that we saw. A lot of people will be like, well, he's old, it's time for him to go. And I get all that, because obviously we've seen him not be the elite defensive end that he once was. But nonetheless, he still was your best defensive player last year. Really the only guy who people were even game planning for on this team. And it's just sad that it really just comes down to an ending like this. I applaud, if even you would call it an applaud, but I'm glad that Jack Easterby didn't have any influence to say, no, we got to get some type of value for this guy, and they allowed him to go and make his own decision. Hopefully J.J. Watt makes the right decision and picks a team that he can be impactful on, and he can potentially, win a ring for. Because when a guy that comes into your organization that makes that much of an impact towards the end of the career, that's what you wish for them. You wish that they can get to the peak of their professional career, and that's, winning a Super Bowl ring. So, man, sad day in Houston. I didn't think it was gonna sting me as much as it did when it came through. J.J. Watt going on Twitter and announcing it himself. Even though I think Ian Rappaport beat him to the video, which, whatever, man. That's how the national media is going to be. But I'm glad that that he came on and basically cleared the facts. It just came down to him knowing that this organization is not really going in the direction that it should go. That the influences of Jack Easterby are more evident than ever before. And that, just like he said in one of his last pressers, towards the end of the season, I'm too old to be going through a rebuild. And, most rebuilds, they're taking you anywhere from 2 to 3 years. That's pretty much what J.J. Watt has left in the tank. hopefully, he doesn't get any new injuries, and he's able to play his last years in NFL as healthy as possible, my man. Just wanted to shout out one of the most impactful players that the Houston Texans have come across, have had on their staff. And I mean, I'm pretty sure so many coaches will come out today and rave about, how great of a player he was, how good of a talent he was to coach. And me and this channel, we just want to wish JJ Watt the best in his endeavors. Hopefully he does accomplish what he is set out to do, which is win a championship. Did so much for the city of Houston outside of sports itself, with Hurricane Harvey and everything that went around that, man. But like I said, didn't expect it to sting as much as it stung today, man. And coming back from vacation, I didn't think that my first video was going to be one where you gotta reminisce about a player who no longer will be on this team, who most likely you will either be watching play against your team one day, or seeing him hold the Lombardi trophy, and just thinking to yourself, man, like, if only that could have happened in Houston. Unfortunately, that is a very familiar feeling that we have here in Houston, when you see so many players leave this Houston organization, go out to win a championship in a year or two, and just think to yourself, man, like, if you could just look at that, if your owner could just look at that, if your CEO could just look at that and say, that's the type of thing we need to emulate, and not be so stuck and hard-headed and thinking that the New England way is the only way, when it's so evident that many players have already came out and said that the New England way is the Tom Brady way, and without Tom Brady, it doesn't seem that they're having that type of success. So it's very unfortunate, man. But the best to JJ Watt. Y'all know what it is every day, man. Make sure you guys comment below. What is your favorite and most memorable memory of JJ Watt with the Houston Texans? Y'all guys drop down below. We'll try to put some video together as a tribute to JJ Watt, but just wanted to come on here and just break down those news, man. Very sad day in Houston, but it is what it is, man. Hey,